Welcome back to GCTV and welcome back to the O2 Arena in Prague as we look back at the opening ceremony, the Walk of Champions, as all 16 competing teams throughout the weekend a few moments ago made their way into the ring, presented to the fans here inside the O2 Arena, which will see a sellout crowd throughout the weekend for the GCL Super Cup quarterfinal in particular tonight, brought to you by Airbank. And we get ready for teams ranked 5th to 16th to compete tonight for a spot in tomorrow's GCL Super Cup semi-final. Standing alongside me, the incredibly talented, very handsome Olivia Philipparts. Of course. Olivia, welcome. You were just out there a few moments ago. Talk to me about energy, about excitement, being back in Prague.
Well, I mean, obviously we know when we come back to Prague, we slightly forget about it. Just when we come into a Walk of Champions, you look around, look at all the crowd, always gets the goosebumps there. So we're all set to get going.
And you personally have wonderful memories here. I mean, in particular, last year, an outstanding year for you. Take us back to that. Remind us of how it felt to perform so well here. Take us back to that memory.
Well, last year obviously was incredible. I think we started also on a Friday, and it was Emily, my brother, and myself, and actually we had a very good start, and then we just keep it together on Sunday, and then I think Sunday we had I think 3 clear rounds. If I can remember, I don't really remember, but that was just incredible. You know, we didn't really expect that. We knew we had a good team, but okay, to win like that, I think we were 12 faults ahead of the second place, so for sure it was something unbelievable, and it's going to be a memory that's going to last forever.
Is this a very difficult place to jump? I know some horses like a really big ring, others may be more suitable to a small ring. How complicated, how technically difficult is it to perform well in this arena?
I think it's very difficult because the warm-up is a very calm, relaxed area, and then you walk a little outside, you come here, and then just the doors open and you come into a big arena full of crowd, full of light. So the horses are a little bit confused when they come in the arena as well. So it takes a bit of time just to settle them down and get them focused for their job, and I think that's not so easy over here.
When we were watching the stories of the season, you joked about saying, I've seen this, I don't need to be reminded of it, but I have you here. I have to ask, maybe from a psychological point of view, has the Stockholm Hearts been able to get over the disappointment of Riyadh? What has the conversation been like? Where is the mind, where is the heart coming into Prague because of what happened in Riyadh?
Yeah, I think Riyadh, it is what it was. I don't think we could change about that. Obviously, we just didn't perform good enough at that show. We should have actually made sure throughout the year we have more points ahead. So last show didn't have to count anymore, but unfortunately that didn't work out like that. So whenever we got home, I think we just thought about it and just left us behind us, and then we just went all years forward to Prague, and I think we made the best team and plan possible, and we really want to go for it this week and just give it another full go.
There's no denying that losing the title on that last day would have been difficult. Winning a Super Cup at the end of the weekend, does that redeem the whole year? Does that erase the disappointment of Riyadh? Does that replace it?
Well, it definitely would help, that's for sure. But I mean, we're still far away from that. I just want to start quiet and focusing myself on tomorrow. We'll do it step by step. Tomorrow is the first round that we jump, so I think we should put our focus on that. And when that's finished, we look on to Sunday if we qualify, and then it's another day. So I think we should do it all step by step and keep ourselves focused over here.
Well, we're very happy to have you with us for tonight. A lot more to come, of course, from Olivia Philipparts throughout the rest of the evening. And as he points out, the Stockholm Hearts, powered by H&M, will be jumping tomorrow in the semi-final. As all of these teams continue to make their way to Prague, it's actually very particular that we work out just how does one get onto the road to Prague. Well, GCTV went behind the scenes and caught up with Kim Broekhuizer, the groom for Michael van der Vleuten from Madrid Emotion on the road to Prague. Let's show you what it actually takes to get here.
The horses need to eat something in the morning. So before we go, we always give some hay just to keep the stomach a little bit going, especially because it's a long trip. We just give everybody now, so everybody stays a bit quiet. But yeah, especially for a trip, it's good. Also at home, they always first get hay, just to keep the stomach a bit moving before they get the hard feed. So we just try everything on the trip to do the same actually as home.
Do the horses know that they are going to travel?
Yeah, I think they know. They get clipped before almost every show, especially in the winter. Their hair grows so fast. They get washed yesterday by the grooms at home already. So normally they know a little bit. But they are used to travel, so they're used to be travelers, and normally they know. Divas. before they travel, we get them some mesh, just with a lot of water, so for sure that we know that at least they get some fluids before we travel. But yeah, it's very important they get water enough, they drink enough, and on the trip it's hard sometimes. You can't always, stop and give them water, so at least before you go they have enough of fluids. Everything is normally ready the days before. We always make sure everything is laying ready. We know the horses, like, and they have boots, do they need bandages, the blankets we need, is it gonna get cold, is it gonna get warm, what's easy to travel them in, and we just check the last days if we still need something from home, but normally, like, we pack over the last 2 days, and normally everything should be organized.
So what are you doing before they are entering the truck?
You always make sure they have fresh beddings in the stable or in the part they're standing, so they feel free to just stand how they want and pee. Just checking if all the positions are okay. We have one mare, she's a bit of a funny traveler, and she likes to bang a bit to the side, so she has her completely own spot with pillows and everything, so she stays safe. Check where to go. Okay, we know where to go, but you put in the address, you check if your cameras are all working. It keeps control of the hours, keeps control of the resting hours, which is very important. At some point, after a few hours, we just stop to check the horses, check if they're okay, check if they're not too warm, not too cold. Maybe get a coffee for ourselves and see later around lunch to get some hay. And now she's checking if they're okay. Horses are good and had a little snack and they all seem fine. So around lunch we stop again to give some hay. And now it's like 7 more hours to go. It's getting later, it's getting colder, so we're just gonna drop some extra blankets on. Finally almost here, it's only 2 minutes left, finally. We got like 2 stables, what Patrick gives to us. So just see if the beddings are okay, if we can put them straight to the stable, or we still have to open the shavings, just that they're comfortable to go in. Just have to see where. Quite happy to be here and knowing the horses, they can have a proper sleep tonight, but they seem all good, so that's good.
So do you, eh?
Yeah, can't wait. No, they get, we just unload everything now, and the horses as priority. And I saw they have already a whole team to come and help us, so that's great, especially after driving yourself. And then we give them first hay, water, so they are comfortable, they get back to their normal rhythm. And then at some point we set the whole stable up between the curtains and they can have a proper night rest. That's what it's out. And they seem all good, they seem pretty happy. So yeah, let's hope for a good week. Okay.
Kim Broekhuis, the groom of Michael van der Vleuten, welcoming GCTV into her truck and bringing us along on the road to Prague to show us exactly what happens behind the scenes to bring these incredible athletes to the O2 Arena in Prague to compete in the GCL Super Cup quarter-finals. Now, Gareth Jenkins, one of our commentators this weekend, standing by for us. Gareth, welcome to Prague. Welcome to the GCL Super Cup quarter-finals. I need to ask you to help us understand the format behind tonight, because this is unlike anything that we watch throughout the rest of the year on the GCL stage. Take us through it, help us understand what will we see tonight and of course throughout the weekend as well.
Well, thank you, Mark. It is a phenomenal competition. It breaks down into 3 stages. The GCL Super Cup presented by Airbank. Tonight is quarter-final night. Tomorrow is the semi-finals, and then on Sunday the Super Six will get themselves in to the grand final where the trophy will be presented. Now the top 4 from the overall standings, they get a bye. They've gone straight into the semi-finals tomorrow. So the Berlin Eagles, of course, the league winners. You've got the Stockholm Hearts. They, alongside the local team, the Prague Lions, and the Shanghai Swans, have all got to skip tonight, they're lucky they go forward straight into the semi-final. So the focus this evening is on the rest, 5 to 16, the other 12 teams. And it is all about staying out of the bottom 4, because 8 of them will progress into the semi-finals and join the other 4. The other 4 will drop out. That is not where you want to be at the end of day 1. The other key, the other big difference, all season we get used to 2 riders in a team. This next 3 days, or these 4 days, these 3 rounds, it is 3 riders, all scores count. Does that add to the jeopardy? Does it add to the excitement? I'm sure it does. The tension is really building. Tonight, whatever you do, don't be in the bottom 4, because then you're going home early, and that is not what you want, Mark.
Gareth, I also, taking a look at the starting list, I'd love to just pick your brain as well. Perhaps a surprise for me is the amount of LGCT Super Grand Prix horses that I'm seeing on a GCL Super Cup quarter-final day. This will be a long week for some of those horses if they find success in the GCL. Talk to me about how many LGCT Super Grand Prix horses we find tonight.
You've got Sanit Dyson, of course. She's got Conquidam. She won in Madrid. You've got Mikey Pender. He won 2 Grand Prix this year with HHS Calais. Fabulous partnership, but they are in the team this evening. Then you've got Harry Schmolders, and you've got Monaco. And you've got Daniel Deusser. Now, Daniel, I actually don't think's decided which horse he's going to ride tonight. He's got, of course, Tobago. He's still got Killer Queen here as well, so which horse he decides to choose from is all to play for. But at least if they do jump tonight, maybe the tactics will come into play and they'll have a day off tomorrow, Mark.
All right, we'll see how those tactics will play out. Gareth, thank you very much. We'll come back to you a little bit later on tonight, standing by alongside Frederick de Backer in the commentary booth today, still alongside Olivier Philipparts. The format is a big talking point over the weekend, and I know some riders like to have extra time to get warm and get into the groove. For you personally, what is your take on the format? Less jumping for you, is that the solution?
Obviously, it depends on the horse as well. I think it's for sure an advantage to jump 1 round later. I mean, like I said, we actually brought horses with quite a lot of experience, which I think it's very important over here. But if you have also 2 horses, I mean, you can swap, but some people only have 1 horse, like Mikey jumps today already, jumps on Saturday, maybe Sunday. It's a lot of jumping. So in that sense, I think for us, it's a big advantage just to start 1 round later.
Do you plan any differently for a week like this that has such a different format, or would you go about your preparation as it were any normal GCL stage?
I think it's very different now. I think especially because you start 1 round later, you jump yesterday, the warm up a day off tomorrow, so it's actually pretty much an ideal scenario. And also, if you wanted to, you could jump today in the 145 class. But I think we just saved the horses for tomorrow, and because we think that they have enough experience and are good to go, so hopefully that pays off. But like I said, this ring is a bit particular. It's quite small, a bit spooky. You know, the angles come very quick, so it's all very, very different here.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's find out exactly how we managed to get here, because once again, to Olivier's heartbreak, we need to just quickly focus on Riyadh and remind exactly how it ended in Riyadh, because that essentially had a direct bearing on how the teams compete in today's quarterfinal, because this is how the bottom half of the table ended after Riyadh, leg 15 of 15, and this now will be the reverse starting order of today's quarterfinals. The Istanbul Sultans will be the first team to come out, followed by the Scandinavian Vikings, Kanstars, and so forth. We'll show you the top half of the table to remind you that the top 4 teams, of course the Berlin Eagles, Stockholm Hearts, Prague Lions and Shanghai Swans, will only jump tomorrow in the semi-final. It means that Paris Panthers will be the final team to go tonight. They are already in a good position. It certainly is not luck of the draw, it is performance of the draw. Falkensvaart United, Madrid Emotion and London Knights will be out as well later on today. Olivia, it's interesting for us to talk about the big news of the weekend, and this will impact the Super Grand Prix and of course the Super Cup, but no Marlon Baard Johnsen for the team this weekend. Very disappointing, of course, but totally understandable. Let's first talk about how big of a blow is that for you as a Stockholm Hearts team, because she is a top quality rider. What does it mean to lose her?
I mean, it's actually a huge disadvantage. I mean, I think we're coming here, and then Marlon was supposed to jump on Saturday, and then we would see if we'd qualify for Sunday, if she would ride or not. But like now, I got a phone call also Tuesday afternoon, like, oh, we have got a problem, you know, a small incident with Indiana. So actually, it's one of our stronger pillars in the team that we could not use at all. So for sure, that's been very unfortunate. But like, I mean, that's our sport. We work with horses. Injuries, they come and go a bit, and. Just for one of the biggest shows of the season, she's not there, so for sure for us that's not very good. But on the end, we've got Peter, and Peter is also very, very strong.
History will tell us that normally in this 3-rider performance, a fence sometimes is allowed to go down to allow a team to still progress. Many would expect Marlon to jump a clear. Everyone wants to jump a clear. Does that put more pressure on you, thinking that maybe a clear on Indiana is not possible now? How does that change the mindset, the approach? Do you go slow? Do you go conservative to chase a clear?
I mean, I think tomorrow just focus on jumping the clear rounds. And actually, like we said, Marlon was going to jump definitely the first class on Saturday, and so she would focus on that. So Peter, Nicola, and myself, we would jump tomorrow, and then we'd see after that day. So like, the moment Marlon is not there, so it's just us three. And that's how it is. So I mean, I think that's just things are going, and I think we just gotta change our mindset and focus on that.
All right, big blow for the Stockholm Arts, powered by H&M. No Malin by Jonsson. She will not be competing throughout the entire weekend, unfortunately, and of course that means that she will not be jumping in the LGCT Super Grand Prix on Saturday as well. We are standing alongside Olivia Philipparts, and of course he had an outstanding year last year in 2021 with the London Knights, his former team. Let's quickly remind you how that took place last year and remind you of those wonderful scenes and the solid performances that were delivered by him and the London Knights as well. So we will try and remind you of those great performances, but I know that Hannah Robson, and of course, is standing by for us as well as we continue the conversation as well. Talk to me about that previous win, because we joked earlier about the emotion, but that was a technically brilliant performance as well. If I'm not mistaken, rewriting history books as well in a GCL Super Cup final to jump clear the way you did. Take us back there. What was the conversation like with your brother, with the rest of the team? How did you get involved? What was the space like there?
Oh, I mean, for sure, we talked about it, you know, like first day, because I remember we were also last year with Ben Mayer in the team. So, I mean, he was there as well, and, you know, he's coming with Explosion, so one of the best horses in the world. So, like, and he said, I'm not jumping, I'm keeping it on Saturday and maybe on Sunday. But then, okay, Saturday's result was very good, you know, horses jumping well. I think I had the fence down, but then Emily was clear, my brother was clear, so they were good. But then you were thinking, wow, we've got Explosion and Ben Mayer for Sunday. What should we do? So, and then we spoke to Mr. Moffat and then said, okay, let's just go keep it the same. So it actually was a very important decision. I mean, the Explosion was there, and anyway, but yeah, things were going great. And then I think I was first to go. I think I jumped the clear, and then same as Emily, my brother. So I'd say things were just going the right way, and to win that Grand Prix, I had that class with a very, very young team. So. I mean, I think it's something exceptional. It's something we'll never forget.
Maybe more success coming by the end of the weekend. We will wait and see. Hannah Robson is standing by alongside arguably the favourites on paper and in the ring as well. Rob Hoekstra, the manager of the Paris Panthers, standing by here now. Hannah, over to you.
Yes, absolutely, Mark. The Paris Panthers are certainly a team that everybody is watching. Rob, are you feeling that? You know, of course, it was a bit of a disappointment for the team not to be in the top four. Is a good result here going to be a little bit of redemption for the Paris Panthers?
Well, I mean, obviously, a redemption if we make it to the next round. I mean, we're just thinking about making a good round today and go day by day.
So, Maurice?
It's actually very big for the first day. So I think I can see a few things happening today. I mean, we've got our best horses and our best riders here, so I'm pretty positive.
It's certainly one of the highest rated teams in the whole field. So do you feel that this is a course and an arena that would suit these riders and horses?
Yeah, I mean, they've done quite a bit. The riders,
how do I get out of that?
They've done a few indoor shows. The horses are experienced, but they have to go in a bit cold into a big atmosphere in this ring. Big jumps that come up very quickly. So things have to really work out well.
And of course, as well, being fifth in that overall season championships means that you jump last. Is that an advantage here today?
I think so, yeah. There's a few technical lines that we'd like to have a look at because it'll probably ride slightly different to how it walks. So being last in that respect is a big advantage. Obviously, the guys that don't have to jump today have even more advantage, but they have to jump a very big class tomorrow straight away. So sometimes that doesn't work out so well.
And just quickly talk us through a couple of those technical lines that you mentioned. Where in particular are you looking at?
Well, it's really from the start, obviously, because the arena is not that big. So most of the lines are related. 1-2 starts off straight away. You have to make a choice between 7 and 8. We'll probably make 8 because the next line is quite difficult into the double again. And really it comes up very quick after that. I think you'll see jumps down all over the course. Not one particular really difficult bit, but lots of difficult technical questions all the way around.
Well, plenty of questions all the way around, and Paris Panthers are certainly a team poised for the job, Mark.
Right, Hannah Robson, thank you very much. Rob Hoekstra, nice to have you in Prague. Gregory Watley, Harry Smolders, Ben Mayer. That is arguably a GCL Super Cup winning team, and some will then ask questions how that they have found themselves into a quarter-final. But they know that there is a good opportunity to get in through to that semi-final tomorrow night. Frederick de Backer standing by for us in the ring as well as we get ready. Frederick, let's get into Prague mentality. Welcome to the 2022 version. I quickly want to hear your thoughts on being back, but I want you to talk to me about a particular fence, a particular line that may well be tricky for the riders today in tonight's quarterfinal.
Well, Rob Hoekstra gave us already a lot of information about that, Mark, and lots of related distances, but it's not over technical. It is big. If you compare this to the first round of GCL at a normal stage, one of the 15 stages, this is a lot bigger, but okay, it's also the quarterfinal. This is built at $1.60 m. Normally these first rounds during the season are built at $1.55 m. This is proper $1.60 m. Some of the important things that we'll point out throughout the entire weekend are the colors that Uliano Vezzani is playing with. Now, for example, we will see this combination with all pink rails, but now he's given the horses a little bit of a fair chance with some contrast with the yellow and with the blue. So that is, it starts with the colors, but it's been fairly light on them so far. Now I want to take you through a few of the lines. There's a very, very big triple combination that we do need to talk about, and it sits right at the end of the course. Now there's a lot to talk about just about this line, because as you can see, this is the point of takeoff. This is the first fence of that triple combination. But if you look at how deep this sits into the corner, you really need a horse that isn't shy of the sides of the ring, that really wants to go deep into that corner so you can find that perfect point of takeoff, which is around and about here. Now, obviously, if your horse is shy of the edge of the ring and you come on the angle, you might miss good entry, and you might come on the angle into the triple combination. Now, if that would be a vertical and just a single standing vertical, it wouldn't be a problem. But look at the width of this oxer, center oxer in the triple combination, and that is going to be a big back rail to jump. Then it's 6 strides to the final fence, and this last line is going to cause a lot of trouble, especially with that last fence mark. But we're going to go more into that in the commentary.
Looking straight out of a James Bond film, Frederick de Backer giving us some reaction as to what Uliano Vezzani has put together today for today's GCL Super Cup quarterfinal presented by Airbank. Olivier, you'll be staying with us throughout the rest of the evening. You have the starting lineup in front of you. It might be easy to say Paris Panthers look superb because they have a strong lineup. Is there anyone else here that stands out for you that could really, really shine tonight?
Definitely Paris Panthers for sure. Actually, it's a bit disappointing they were not in the top 4 from the overall, because I say they're very, very strong. But if you look beside that, I mean, Falcons or United has always been very, very strong. I mean, Marcus Inning, John Whittaker and Andre Team, very, very good. And Saint-Tropez Paris, I think those 3 together, I think these are teams that should be on the final on Sunday. On paper, they're one of the best ones.
Who would be the most disappointing to not make it through tomorrow?
Saint-Tropez. I mean, Saint-Tropez, they should always be on the final. If you see, I mean, the horses and the riders, they should always be in tomorrow and probably on Sunday.
All right, well, we're getting ready for the action. We're coming back in a few moments' time as we get ready for the GCL Super Cup quarterfinal presented by Airbank. Olivier Philippas will be staying the rest of the night for us to give us his reaction, of course, throughout the competition and later on in our post-studio, highlighting the Paris Panthers, Falcons of United and the Saint-Tropez Pirates as being the 3 teams to look out for that should be looking to bank their spot in tomorrow's competition, where they will then be joining the top 4 teams from the competition. The Berlin Eagles, Stockholm Hearts, Shanghai Swans and Prague Lions will be coming back into action tomorrow. The big question is who then, out of these 12 teams, will make their way into tomorrow's semi-final. Where will the surprises come? Where will the heartbreak and disappointment come? You'll find out here in a few moments' time on GCTV. Gareth Jenkins standing by, Frederick de Backer standing by, and Hannah Robson will be standing by for all of your rider reaction as well. Anna Kellner-Rover with a big smile on the face of Uliano Vezzani. He has put together tonight's course and will do so throughout the rest of the weekend. How will the riders compete You will find out here on GCTV as we get ready for the 2022 GCL Super Cup quarterfinals presented by Airbank. We come to Prague next for the quarterfinals.